So the next update I have for you is we installed the installation, then we moved to installing the plumbing modules and the electrical.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to GeoJourney episode 10. Can you believe we've made it this far? So last episode was a big one. We wrapped up the entire exterior and then got started on the loft floor. Now we're gonna take you fully inside this episode. We're talking wall framing, insulation, and the full MEP system. That's mechanical, plumbing, and electrical, if you didn't know. All right, let's get into it. We'll head out to Neil for the install update.
Come on up. So we just installed the second floor walls. These guys are just putting the finishing touches on these wall cassettes that are made in the factory. We bring them on site and then we install them in place. All right, so we're walking into the primary bathroom. So this is where the tub is gonna be, right in front of these two windows. Then there's gonna be a shower over here, vanity, and the toilet. This is a lot of space for a bathroom. I think this is gonna be really beautiful. We finished the interior wall framing upstairs and downstairs. We also installed the kickers which support the walls. Let me tell you about the layout of the Amma Dome. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath family home with an office. There's 1,643 square feet of total living space. On the first floor, here's the bedroom with storage space, bathroom, utility closet, kitchen, dining, and living area. On the second floor is the office, primary bedroom with built-in storage, and the primary bathroom. High ceilings over the main living area and a great circle skylight. The insulation that we're using is a mineral insulation, which has very high fireproof material, but it also has a lot of small fibers. We're currently working on developing our own type of insulation, which is a cellular foamed ceramic, which is much healthier and we won't have this issue. So I'm here in the utility closet. We have the electrical panel, which actually you're seeing the back of it. And then we have the plumbing, which gets assembled before we bring it into the dome. So you can see there's these little V's here, and that helps us orient the angles of this whole assembly before it goes into the dome. So let me tell you a little bit about the electrical. So what we have here is we're doing some testing on site with these quick connects. These quick connects basically take the runs that come from the subpanel and then we connect them into the outlets and the lights. We're doing some of the wiring on site. In the future, we'll be doing all of the assembly of the electrical in the factory. We'll have pre-cut lengths of wire that come down from the subpanel, come up to the individual outlets and just connect with these quick connects. So this will come as a pre-assembled piece that we just screw into place wherever we have a location for an outlet. So this is part of the HVAC system. It's the ERV, Energy Recovery Ventilation System. So what that allows is fresh air to come into the building and it has a heat exchanger so that you don't lose the heat or cool that's created in the structure. So this is the air handler. We just installed it and it's gonna fit here in the interstitial floor. I just knocked my hat off. It'll be hidden by the drop ceiling. It brings in the cooler warm air that's generated by the condenser that's outside the unit. It's basically a mini split system that we've hidden inside the floor. It will distribute air to each individual room through a separate duct system. So this is our HVAC system. These components get assembled before they come into the dome as complete as possible. For the smaller parts, we keep these separate so that we can fit them around some of the framing where it fits in the interstitial floor.
So here's a question I keep coming back to. How do you take something completely new and turn it into a repeatable system? Because Geoship isn't just building this one dome. We're building the process, the playbook, and the coordination it takes to bring these homes to life at scale. And that kind of innovation doesn't just happen overnight.
Why does innovation take time? Well, if speed were our only goal, we could move a lot faster. We could cut corners, simplify the problem. We could even build something that looks like innovation without actually solving anything meaningful. But housing doesn't allow for that. Housing is one of the most regulated, capital-intensive, infrastructure-heavy industries in the world. It touches zoning, financing, insurance, utilities, you name it. And when startups move too fast without understanding the system in its entirety, they end up breaking things. We are starting with first principles, moving at the pace of the problem we are solving and implementing with scale as our primary goal.
Here on the ground, the path to scale is all about getting everything synced up. We've got engineering, manufacturing, and installation all running in parallel. If we're not synced up, we're just spinning our wheels. A big part of it's being together. So we've brought everything under one roof. The engineers are in the factory and they're actively engaged on site. In most big companies, you send an email, escalate to a supervisor, they send an email to call a meeting. When we find issues, we walk over, talk about it, fix it, and get back to work.
Early on, we made a decision that most companies don't make. We invested in ourselves. We bought our own lab equipment so we could move faster. We built our own tooling. We developed the material stack in-house. We actually vertically integrated the entire process so we could control the pace of innovation. For the small level of capital we deployed, we've achieved a level of de-risking and technical progress that most teams in our space take far longer and far more money to reach.
When we started, none of this existed. The material formulation, the mixing line, the casting and curing processes, we developed and built all of it from scratch. We're not optimizing a known system or trying to make the next best version of something. We're not taking the iPhone from the 10 to the 11 or making the next Tesla model. We're going from 0 to 1. And it's as much a discovery process as it is a design process. Sometimes we hit a home run and the whole thing works together the first time. But honestly, usually it doesn't. And that's to be expected. We research, design, prototype, test, always optimizing for learning, finding the best ways to do things. When something doesn't work, we celebrate the learning and keep getting after it.
From the outside, that could look slow. But what's actually happening here is we're compressing years of research and development into a very short period of time. By the time we build our 10th home, we'll have more invested in our technology stack than most home building startups have by their 100th home. We're on track to solve problems early that most companies don't even encounter until many years later. And once those systems are stable, once the foundation is set, that's when we can scale exponentially.
Right now, we're doing the hardest thing, discovering and building at the same time. We're developing the processes while using them to build real homes. And here's the thing, every problem we solve stays solved. Every process we dial in carries forward. We're not just building houses, we're building a manufacturing technology system that gets better every time we use it. And as our systems begin to stabilize, all that learning starts to compound. And it shifts from feeling really hard and really slow to moving really, really fast.
At the end of the day, we're not just building houses. We're building something people will need to depend on for decades. But when you're building an entire industry from the ground up, we're putting in the decade of hard work now so that one day it feels like an overnight success.
We're not just watching a home take shape. We're watching a new way of living come to life. In the next episode, we'll continue the install and show you what happens as the interior moves closer to a finished living space. Drop a comment below and let us know what part of the build you're most excited to see next. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our updates. See you next time.